Want to know how to make a great first impression at your soccer tryouts? Then stick around. Hey, I'm Dylan Joseph, soccer trainer, #1 best-selling Amazon author. To increase your skills, learn how to overcome average performances, as well as boost your soccer self-esteem, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon. And stick around for the 9 tips to keep in mind, and tip 8 is most important to the coaches. Today, we're covering how to make a great first impression. From the sociolinguist Mehrabian's comprehensive research on face-to-face interactions, he actually found that 55% of your first impression comes from your appearance and your body language. 38% comes from vocal tone, pacing, and inflection. 7% comes from the actual words that we use. Broken down in another way, 93% of your first impression to the coaches in that first 7 to 27 seconds that you meet them is actually from things other than the specific words that you use. Though this seems like a flaw in humans, because honestly it is, use this to your advantage to make a great first impression to the coaching staff on the team. Though many people wish that coaches could see past first impressions and base players only on their skills and abilities, that's not how the soccer world works. Let's be honest, coaches are human. They stick by their first impressions of whether they think you're good or not, and even before you start playing, they have a good idea of whether they want you on their team. Now, by understanding this flaw in human nature, you can use this to your advantage to make sure that the coach likes you right off the bat by making a great first impression. And could you give this video a like? So here are the 9 ways to make a great first impression using non-verbal things. Number 1, get to the field early. By getting to the field early, there's a good chance that the coach will be alone, and it will allow you to approach them, make a first impression in your own time, and it'll make it so that you're not trying to talk to them while other people are there talking to them as well. Meeting the coach in person, shaking their hands, is going to make it so that you actually are calmed down while you play because you've already met them prior to that. Also, make sure to show up to the field a little bit earlier, so you're basically telling the coach, hey, coach, you'll never have to worry about me. I value your time. I value the team's time. I'm here always a little bit early because I want to make sure that you're not being held up by me. The general rule of thumb for games and practices is that whatever time the coach gives you to be there, you want to make sure that for every hour of driving, you leave an extra 20 minutes early. So that means if you have 2 hours of driving, you need to leave 2 hours and 40 minutes early for that practice or game, the time that that coach wants you to be there. Because honestly, tryouts are probably more important than any game, maybe except for a championship, because if you don't make the team in tryouts, you're not going to be able to play in any of those games. So make sure for every hour of driving that you have to get to those tryouts, you leave 30 minutes early. So if my tryout is, say, 2 hours away, that means I got to leave at least 3 hours beforehand, so I get there even if there's an accident or 2 on the way, I'm still going to make it with time. Taking into consideration how long it takes for you to put on all your soccer gear, make sure if your tryouts are, say, 30 minutes away, leave for at least 45 minutes beforehand and use a GPS app on your phone to get there. Honestly, the coach doesn't care why you were late. The fact that you were late is all the things that they need to know. They don't care if there was an accident or a delay or any of this or that. All they care is, did you get here on time? Tip number 2, make sure you dress well. So what that means is wear vibrant colors, bright yellow, bright orange, bright blue. Wear that same color if you have multiple days of tryouts, wear that same color each and every day. By doing this, it makes it a lot easier for you to stick out to the coaches and so you don't blend in with the crowd. Sadly, I never thought about this tip when I was in middle school, high school, or college, and honestly, my sister, who made varsity soccer at one of the largest high schools in the state as a freshman, she told me that this was one of the tips that she used that really helped her make the team. Though I never used it, she swears by it, and she wants you to have as many advantages as possible when it comes to your tryouts. Tip 3, smile. Smiling is actually an open invitation for the coaches to feel more comfortable around you, to talk to you, and effectively communicate with you. Studies in the field of psychology has revealed when you smile at someone, they are more likely to trust you. Do you think a coach wants a trustworthy player on their team? 4, stand up straight. Status, power, as well as skill on the soccer field are conveyed by a nonverbal message of how you're standing. Standing tall, pulling your shoulders back, keeping your head up very high is going to make it so that you come across with a lot of confidence and self-esteem to the coaching staff. 5, always make eye contact. Making eye contact says that you're confident and that you really care about making their team. 6, open your eyes and raise your eyebrows slightly more than you usually would. This is the universal signal of recognition and acknowledgement. And honestly, coaches want players that like them. Tip 7, shake their hand. This is a very easy way to show that you're confident that you're willing to shake your hand, and by giving them a strong handshake, you're showing, hey, I'm strong. So if you're not very good at giving handshakes, grab a dad, mom, sister, brother, friend, and practice shaking their hand and getting better with your form. Have a great attitude. Before even meeting the coaching staff, think in your mind, I want to have the attitude of someone that they would want on their team. Tip number 9, pay attention. So when the coach goes and calls everyone in, make sure you sprint as quick as you can, stand directly right in front of them, and that's another good impression that they'll have of you, that you care so much to learn that you want to be front row. This is an easy way to stand out when everyone else is walking or jogging. Also, by taking any advice they give and immediately implementing it, even if you disagree with it, you show that, hey, I'm coachable. In a season, in a practice, in a game, you'll be able to coach me. You'll be able to do everything you want to do in a game, coach, and I'll be able to listen. Let's be honest, coaches think they know a lot about soccer, and in most cases, they definitely do. So by being there and being willing to pay attention, it makes it a lot easier for them to select you, because coaches want players that listen to them and follow their direction. Several things to avoid are revealed in the book, Soccer Tryouts, How to Make the Team, using the link in the description below. So subscribe to avoid missing the next weekly video on how to stand out at your soccer tryouts. And click here for the video on how to prepare for your soccer tryouts.